We are live.
Hi everybody. It's Tina, and with me is Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I know we're
Yeah,
feeling frazzled today. We had a lot going on this morning, both of us. So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we've got this. Yes.
yeah. It's interesting because I was I want to say I was prepared for this. Like, I thought, okay, I'll have everything ready and I'll get myself ready,
Yeah.
and I just wasn't feeling it this morning. So there must be something going on with the energies in the world because I don't know, and I don't watch the news, so
No.
I don't know if it's related to something like an actual event or,
I think so. I think
a
it's
story.
International Peace Day today. International
Yes.
Peace Day for September 21. So I was reading that the whole world focuses on this minute of silence at noon. And it is noon right here in Arizona. So maybe that's what you're feeling is this, you know, how the energy, everyone can feel that energy when it's emitted, especially a
Yes.
worldwide event. So I think you're feeling the peace that's being emitted right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, well, okay.
We'll go with that.
Sure. Because yeah, I don't feel, it's interesting because it's almost like like everything's vibrating in me today.
Yes, I feel that too. And
So
energy, right?
yeah, yeah. And it's, I'm wondering too, it's like if it's okay related to the energies for this coming week.
Yes.
Because I always like to tune in to what's coming our way as a collective week by week. And it's like, okay, so, and I ask my guides, what's the mantra or, the meditation of the week to help us cope and to get through.
Yes. Yeah.
And also too, I will ask, the song. So the energies of the week,
Yeah.
it came like my guides were saying, like, there's a bit of this and a bit of that. And like they were like pulling me in all, like all these
Yeah.
different directions. So it's like, okay. So people, I'm wondering, are gonna feel a bit scattered this week. It's like, okay, I gotta get,
Yeah.
I'm over here and then oh, this is
Yeah.
grabbing my attention. I gotta do this.
Right.
So what they came back with is like, they kind of like shouted stop
Yeah.
and just breathe.
Yes.
So it's almost like, we need to stop ourselves, especially when we get, ahead or when we feel scattered or nervous
Yes.
and, and take that breath. So just stop. And I always say three breaths are ideal. And you don't
Hmm.
have to be thinking of anything. It's just, it helps with each breath, it helps you, become calmer and it's soothing. But
Yeah.
if you just do one, if you do 20, that's great, right?
Yeah.
There's no rules
No.
to this. No,
However long it takes, because sometimes it
that's
takes
right.
more than a minute to
Yeah,
help your energy calm down. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
So we'll be okay.
Yeah,
See?
yeah. So that's that. And then International Day of Peace. Yeah, so that's interesting. Hey,
That
and
is interesting.
what
Yes.
what does that mean? So like what does that mean for you?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone who's watching live right now, if they want to comment, like what does that mean?
Yes. Oh, there's
Um,
mom. Hi, mom.
yeah, your
I think
mom's
she's in
here.
here. Yes. I love her. And it's Vicky's birthday. It's my sister Vicky's birthday today.
Right.
9/21. Yes. So
Okay.
I
So
hope she
happy
has a
birthday, Vicky.
fantastic day. Yes.
Yeah,
Happy birthday,
yes.
Vicky.
Yeah, have a
Yeah.
wonderful day. Celebrate. Yeah, do
Yes.
something special. Yeah,
Yes. I know. I know. She's
yeah.
feeling the smoke right now. There's smoke coming into, I think there's some fire spreading into the Utah area. So
Mm,
I know it's really bad. It's really still not good here in the U.S. It's still a
yeah,
hard time. So this notion of peace is at a welcoming time right now for sure. And the
yeah.
energies are really heading us toward this notion of peace. I was reading this morning that peace is the ultimate response to the notion that violence provides any viable solution for the conflicts of the world. And I thought
Mm,
that was so interesting. So peace is that knee-jerk reaction to the chaos, you know, and
yeah,
it feels chaotic. It feels chaotic, like you were saying. The energy is kind of bouncing in and out, and there's kind of a chaotic
yeah,
feel to it.
yeah, yeah. And and it's like, okay, I mean, the International Day of Peace, I'm sure they're referring to, world events, right? And to,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so that, to cease war, to cease conflicts.
yes,
But it
yeah,
can go deeper than that because I think right now, especially the year that we've had, people are looking for peace in their lives, or even like just peace of mind, peace of
Yeah,
heart, right?
of
Because
course. Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's still unsettling, right? And
it is.
with all
Well,
the
it
events that are
is.
going on, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's like our leaders, are they providing
Peace?
us any peace?
No. The answer
Right?
is no.
Because I think they have to set
No.
an example, right? And I don't think they're doing a very good job, are they? Most
Well,
of
they're
them.
really not. And anytime you have, a dominant power trying to enforce their notion of peace, you're going to get diversification at an all-time high level because everybody has what their notion of peace is to them, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
So it starts within. You've got to find what is peaceful to you. Where is your peace? What brings you the energy of peace? What is that? It's probably a passion or an idea, a thought. And
right,
it starts
right.
there. And then you've got to kind of spread it out to your immediate community, your immediate family. So many even immediate families are in chaos right now because of what they believe. And yet
Yeah,
everyone has this common goal of peace. Peace is promised to us by every politician. I mean, peace is what all nations are striving for, is peace. It's the goal
yeah,
of every prayer is peace, you know.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
every organization that's the goal. So how can you bring peace into your little organizations here, into your daily life first?
Hmm. Right. Yeah, that's it. And it shouldn't be limiting. Like there's many different solutions, there's many different ways.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
many
it's a
paths.
matter, I mean, sometimes you have to, um, sometimes it's about action and sometimes it's about doing nothing at all. Like sometimes it's,
Yeah,
you know, taking a nap or going to sleep because that,
absolutely.
just, takes your mind off of things or,
Right.
from viewing your outer world, right? So,
Absolutely. Shutting it
yeah.
down for just a minute.
Hmm.
You can't solve all the problems of the world in one day.
No,
you know,
exactly.
you can't
Yeah.
achieve world peace after this in one day. It's everything is a mountain to climb. You're always striving to get through these walls that come across you in every area of life. You're going to hit these brick walls. Every mountain climb, is going to come with brick walls. And
Yeah.
how are you going to get around this wall? How are you going to keep going and breaking through? And who's going to help you? And who's got that hand out there to say, here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But you'll
Yeah.
get up the
And
mountain.
yeah. And I can't remember what show I was watching. But someone had, sometimes when you watch certain shows or movies, the character will say something that's like, wow, that's so profound.
Yeah. I wish I had thought of that.
Yeah. Or like it should
Yeah.
be spread, that quote should be spread, right?
Yeah.
So there was
Right.
one
Like
show, and I
it
can't
does.
remember what I was watching. And, anyways, the character had said, you make peace um, with your enemies. You don't make peace with
Right.
your
Yeah.
friends, right? And it's like,
Yeah. Right. That's exactly right.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's,
That's
I
hard to
think,
do.
it is, right? And
Yeah.
it's interesting too, because it's like you can even go further and deeper than that because it's like, okay, I need to make peace with my doubts or with my
Right.
fears, with my worries, with my stresses, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's, yeah, that's not easy. That's not
No.
easy. So,
No, because you kind of have to formulate that throughout your life of what is your stresses, what are your worries. Those kind of come as the experiences come and go. You're picking up things along the way, tools along the way. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So when if you use the mountain analogy, when you're climbing in that mountain, there's so many stories on the top of that mountain of how people got there.
yeah,
There's so many stories, but there's always the person that's up there taking the pictures and looking fantastic. And well, they got flown to the top. They paid someone to get them to the top of the mountain. They don't have those stories of how they got there and
right.
how to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah.
So
What a good analogy. Like I just picking up, like you keep using the mountain and it's like, oh,
yeah,
well,
I
it's
don't
the
know
mountain
why.
goat this month. No,
Yeah,
because the
right.
spirit
Oh
animal for the
yeah,
collective is the
that's
mountain
right.
goat. And
That's
of
right.
course, then the mountain would be an important part of that, right?
Yeah,
Symbolism.
right.
So yeah, and metaphors, yeah. So it's like we
Yeah.
are. And you know, I just feel, I mean, I'm probably jumping the gun a bit, but I feel like this week it's like this is our kind of like, you know, the last of this limiting energy, or this energy that gets us really, you know, worked up, or feeling like, you know, nervous. So that's changing, you guys. We're moving out of that, and I think, you know, a lot of us will feel that, and there'll be a sigh of relief, you know, when we go into the next
Oh
cycle.
yeah.
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 So I just want to say, so one of your friends says hello, Julie.
Hello,
Can you see
everyone. Oh yeah, that
Chris?
is Chrissy. That's Chrissy. Yes. Hello,
Yeah.
my friend.
If
She's so
she's still
beautiful.
around.
Look at
Yeah.
her. Yes.
Yeah. And then there's your mom. She'll
Yeah.
say, she'll carry you up the mountain, but not me. No,
She
just
has
kidding.
many times. Oh, she would too. She knows how much I love you. She's my biggest carrier. She's carried me through many, many things, my mom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moms. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And here
but,
we have this common enemy, you know, is we can get peace with this virus too, because we all have a
mm,
common enemy here. This affects everyone around the world. And while everyone's busy distracting themselves of what is right or wrong for them as far as human rights and all of this, the common goal is peace with this virus too as well. And it's a common enemy. So we can, if we can come together on this, which is a great place to start, you know,
yeah. Yeah.
we can come together on
Exactly.
everything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, people, you know, there's still tension around that, and
Right.
people, you know, there seems to be two sides, right? What side are
Right.
you on? Are you for this or for that? Do you believe in this?
Yes.
And people, and, you
Yeah.
know, I think we have to find, yeah, you're right. We have to find a peaceful solution, even if it's just a matter of like, okay, you know what? I'm not believing what you believe. So can we just accept each other's differences? That can
Yes.
just be, you know, that a simple and peaceful
Yeah.
resolution, right? So,
Oh,
and stop
yes.
blaming. You know,
Absolutely.
I think we have to stop blaming and pointing fingers, and
Yes.
because that, you know, that doesn't help either. That doesn't help either.
Well, when you're
Yeah.
halfway up the mountain, everyone gives up on halfway up that mountain. You just think you can't do it. You know, the worst words in the
Mm,
world are I can't, you know,
mm,
and you're sitting there and you saying I can't do it, and you're saying, well, she has better shoes than I do, and he had a better night's sleep than I did, and you have all of these excuses of why you can't do that, you know.
yeah.
and and they're still heading up there, they're still on their journey because they have excuses as well, but they didn't let that energy stop them of what excuses they have, because you know what happens to the person sitting there saying I can't do it, you know, absolutely nothing
Mm,
happens to that person, you know.
mm,
So
mm,
it's
yeah.
it is a choice, it's a choice to come together.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah,
sometimes the peaceful resolution is to take yourself out of the equation, right? Like just
that's right.
go, you
Right,
know,
because you're,
go somewhere and
yeah,
calm down if that's what you
yeah,
need, right? Yeah,
absolutely,
and
de-escalate.
yeah, like release it somehow. Yeah, in a safe way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a safe way. Yeah.
In
That's
a
safe to
safe
yourself
way.
too, because don't bash
Mm-hmm.
yourself up either. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So in the northern hemisphere, tomorrow is the first day of autumn or fall,
yes.
depending. Everyone calls it fall too, you know.
Yes.
So how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm
I don't
so
know
excited.
what's fall like in
Yeah.
Arizona, first of all. Like, is it
Well, it's still
warm
100
still?
and freaking degrees out. I won't say what I wanted to say there, but yeah, it's still really hot here.
Yeah.
And we haven't had rain in forever, no monsoon yet for us. So we're wanting the rains and the weather to change for sure. I'm always anxious for winter. Winter, I feel alive again in Arizona for sure
But
because
it's
of
still
the
warm.
heat. It's
But it's
still
still
warm
warm.
now.
It's
Yeah.
but it's not
Yeah.
as hot as your summers, right?
It's
Like it's
not
not
as
hot.
hot. Like
Yeah.
it was 115, you know, before. Now it's 105. So huge relief.
Okay. That's Fahrenheit,
I'm freezing.
everybody in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Fahrenheit.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You and I
yeah.
have
So
figured this out many times with the
yeah,
Celsius.
yeah, because
Yeah.
because I think the States is the only nation that uses the imperial
Right.
um,
For
measurements. Yeah,
whatever reason. Yeah.
because you
I
guys
know.
like to be different. I know
The
you guys.
familiar. I know.
You
Yeah.
guys just
Very
like to
resistant
do.
to change.
That's yeah, yeah.
Right?
Interest. You guys have to be different from the rest of the world, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, so where I live, it is looking like fall, and it actually felt
Yes.
like fall arrived um, in August. So
That I
even
know. You
though
got
tomorrow's
cold.
the first, yeah. So because so I'm up in Alberta, Canada, so north of you, and so the leaves are turning colors, and it's crisper,
Beautiful.
cooler, yes,
Yeah.
and but also too, we've had days where we've had smoke.
Oh yeah?
So yeah, the smoke has traveled up, yeah,
Yeah.
this far up.
It's
So
horrible.
like no sun, heavy
Yeah.
sky.
Yes.
You could smell the smoke,
Yeah.
kind of gloomy looking. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and yeah, and
Yeah.
I love fall. I love fall.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful time of the year, and it's like a year where I feel like a season where you want to get cozy and
Yes.
kind of like
Have a
regroup or
fire. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So, hmm
I know there's too much
hmm
fire everywhere, but I know what you mean. A nice hot cup of tea and
yeah,
reading. Mine would be reading. Reading or
yeah,
writing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
But it's coming, and boy, do we need 2020 to come to a close here. It's been too much for everybody. So there's always some kind of hope for whatever in 21.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's like, okay, so we can use this season to let go of the year, let
Yes.
go of how it made us feel, let go of, the emotional
Yeah.
stuff that came up with it, let go
Hmm.
of what we thought like, didn't go well and didn't work
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good time to do that right
It's
now.
a good time to let go of expectations because really that's what you're saying. Things didn't work out as I expected,
Yeah.
or as I thought. I've spent decades planning for my life as it happened all around me. It's a culmination too of an ending. I think for everyone. We're just not the
hmm
same people that we came into this year as.
No, 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 no. And I want to say, I think, a lot of people are disappointed,
Hmm.
and that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay to feel, but it's like, what can that disappointment, how can you turn it around? How can you learn and grow from that?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, focus on what counts in your life and what matters, and how to make those things a go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly right.
hmm
Yeah. Really think about it as an ending to kind of all of that old system thinking. But we've all had a little bit of programming going on. Your whole life you're
hmm
kind of programmed to have expectations anyway.
Yeah,
That's kind of programming from a very early age of what your life is supposed to be.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So, time to take stock of what it is because there's so much good in the world. There is so much good above this doom and gloom, and stories of heroic stories of nurses and doctors and people on the healthcare front lines that are still fighting this fight with this virus. And they're
hmm
fighting a battle for people that say it doesn't even exist. It's the
yeah,
craziest thing to me. I mean, if we can just admit that there is a global crisis here, maybe that's the start to this. It's
right.
it's crazy to me,
Yeah, yeah,
but it is what it is. So let's just come together, and we do have a common enemy here. Let's beat it. Let's have something to celebrate.
yeah. And that could be something like, okay, let's just make peace with it,
Right.
you know?
Acceptance, right? Isn't that the first step to anything?
And it could just be like, just taking a few breaths, and it's like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Meditation comes into play. Meditation, prayer, whatever you call meditation, you've got to clear it all away, because what you're expecting and what the expectations have to go, really.
Yeah.
Expectations have to
Yeah.
go on everyone's part, and just find a solution. Let's focus on the solutions. We all know what the problems are. We all do.
Yeah.
No one has to sit here and say, well, this is the problem. Well, Donald Trump is the problem. That's so easy to say, but it goes so deep. It goes so much deeper than that. This
Yeah.
is a global problem. This is a global issue that we can't even seem to have a conversation about. So if we can find
Yeah.
the common goals, what do
Yeah.
you want? What does peace mean to you?
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like, even just saying, like, because I know, like with Donald Trump, okay, so like a lot, he's not well liked. And
Right.
well, and it's so easy for people, and I'm not taking sides here. I'm not like for or against Trump. This is not what I'm trying to elaborate about, but it could just be like, okay, Donald Trump is the president of the States.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is right now. And like just saying that, like just and it's like, okay, I'm at
Yeah.
peace with that, right? That's how it is.
Well, I'm
So
glad
it's,
you're
and if you
there.
don't, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not my country, but
I live in the
anyways, I'm
US.
trying
I
to
know.
help.
I
Yeah.
know. No,
So
I
it's
get it.
just a matter
Yeah.
of like, okay, that's
Acceptance.
how it is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and just accepting that statement, it's
Right.
like, it can be peaceful, and then it's like, okay, so what can I do about that? And it could be a matter of, okay, when it comes time to vote, I won't vote for him, or
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
going to lead an initiative that will empower or help people in this area of life.
Right.
We don't need Trump to help us with that, or we don't
Exactly.
need the government, right? So it's like
Right.
what helps you align to
Yeah.
feeling peace or being at
Yeah.
peace with it, right?
Well, we didn't need Trump to get us here. We really didn't. He's just a representation of what we were leading to, and that is diversification. We've all been the label started a while ago. You are this, you are that. And that just leads to a division. Even there's a little bit of that in, ancestry.com and getting your DNA and where are you from. It's kind of self-defeating as far as the human race goes, because we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're this and we're this and we're this, and we've segmented, our who we are into these little tiny, all the way down to a sublet, level.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous. We're humans, and we need to survive. And in order to do that, we need compassion, and we need peace, and we need to come together and survive this. But everything else is a distraction. It could have been anybody to lead us to this point. Donald Trump is just a symptom of what's been going on for a very long time.
Right.
So yeah, so at
Right.
least what I'm grateful to Donald Trump for is he brought it all out into a light of how different we all are, how we all we all had these expectations. We've all been kind of, like I was saying, programmed, to where
Yeah.
we were going.
Yeah.
And so it just blew it wide up. It just blew it
Yeah.
wide open of kind of a shock and awe of, wow, I never thought you believed this, or I never thought you believed that. So there's an acceptance that has to happen first.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And I mean,
accept you.
yeah, and it takes time. Like,
It
so
does.
it's interesting. Like, I'm not American. And so so it's like that politics is not personal to me, like, in the sense, because I live in a different country. But when he was first elected, like, it did affect me, because it was like, it bothered me. I didn't like it. Right.
Right. Oh,
And,
yeah.
all these emotions came up, and it's like, that's interesting what it triggered in me. And I felt concerned for the states and for the
Yeah.
world. And then as time passed, it was like, you know what? When I kind of detached from everything I was feeling, it's just like, look at the bigger picture. And it's like,
Right.
I really do feel Donald Trump is fulfilling his life purpose right now.
Yeah.
Like on a metaphysical or spiritual level, like if you're going to look at, from a
To
psychic
reveal
point of
it.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he's bringing out and bringing up all the things that needs to be healed and cleared. Not
Yeah.
just, let's say, for Americans, but I want to say for many of us living in different nations, right, in different parts of the world,
Right.
because it's
Yeah.
not just limited to the States,
Right.
racism and sexism and, all these
Right.
ugly
Yeah.
issues coming up. It's like,
Right.
it's in every nation. And,
Yeah. Oh,
he's
yeah.
this
You can
trigger.
see it.
Like
Yeah,
it's
he
kind of
is.
brilliant. It's brilliant, right?
Right. It is
And
brilliant. Yeah.
I have to, one thing that I kind of admire about Donald Trump is how he's so nonchalant. Like
Yeah.
it's almost he comes across like, he doesn't let things get to him. And if he,
Yeah. Oh. Oh. I
whatever,
just.
yeah, I know. I mean, it's not maybe not always kind and it's not always loving or from a
Yeah.
heartfelt place, but it's like, he seems to be like, has this strength. And I think maybe that's what um I don't know if admire is the thing, but it's like it's a trait, it's a strong trait that he has that
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why some people are drawn to him or some
Yeah.
people, follow him. It's not
Yeah.
maybe not just about always what he says or does. It's,
Right.
how he
Well,
carries his
he's had.
energy or how you see what I mean? That's
Yeah.
where I'm trying to
I
go
do.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is it's a aggressive move on his part. It's very aggressive. It's a dominance that he's pulling off here, and he's got this idea that that some people. Well, let's use the Republican and Democrat Party. He has this idea that Democrats are evil, that all Democrats are evil, that
Mm-hmm.
there's no conversation to be had. Well, that's so very dangerous. It's so very dangerous because we are based on a system of Democrat and Republican beliefs. We are a two-party system, like it or not. So anytime you are saying that one part of that system is evil, whether I'm a Democrat or a Republican, that scares me because you're trying to shut down democracy itself in that
Right.
statement. So it's very dangerous, very, very dangerous to go down that road.
It is,
And you
but
have to hear all sides. You have to have a broader perspective, living in the
yes,
US.
I
Yeah,
believe that, but not everyone is in that kind of space, right? They don't think that way,
absolutely not.
right?
No,
It's one
no.
side or the other.
I think
And
they're not realizing what they're fighting for, though. See, I ask them, well, what exactly are you fighting for here? What do you want to see continue another 4 years? Because right now it's just division and hatred, no matter who you like, no matter what you
mhm,
think. It's so chaotic. You can't hear any one voice over another. It's
yeah,
just you're lost in the sea of voices now.
yeah.
So it's very dangerous. That's the dangerous path because yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's dirty politics. That's how I see
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's
it
dirty, and
is.
it's
At its
like
worst.
it's an energy like I don't know if he truly believes that. It's all, I don't know, right? But it's like
Yeah.
a lot of politicians nowadays will say anything to win and will do anything to win.
Yes.
And
Win
that's
at all
so
cost.
dirty. And
Yeah.
and I just feel like it's time and I'm hoping in this decade, because I don't think it's going to happen overnight or even in a year.
Yeah.
It's going to take time, but it's like our political system needs to be overhauled, not just
Oh
in the
yes.
States, but worldwide. Like
Yeah.
it's,
It did show
I
that.
think a lot of people are tired. It's like,
Yeah.
they, yeah, it's a system that's gone down a road, like it's veered off path, is how I want to put it. So it's like,
Absolutely.
okay, what's being revealed? What are we seeing? Who truly cares? Where's their heart at? What matters? And
Yeah.
um, we need the people, like we need to like overhaul the system, and it's like that's
Yeah.
a huge job. Like that's daunting,
Yeah.
right?
Well, first
Hmm.
of all, I just would wish people would
That's not
stop
very
getting
peaceful.
lost in their
I
own point.
think when I
It
look
is
into it or
peaceful.
feel it, it's like, oh, I don't like going there. I'm not at peace with that. Yeah.
Well, because it makes you feel unsettled, but the world makes you feel unsettled right now. The world, even the
Mhm.
discussion is unsettling because we have not been able to have a discussion about it. The time of debate is even over. If you remember in my time we had debate class It was my
Oh yeah.
favorite class. My father's been a Republican and my mother's been a Democrat. And my entire life, we have had bipartisan discussions at the dinner table, and we have had many of them. I've seen dad's
Yeah.
side and I've seen mom's side. If there's never been a more bipartisan family. So I've really had a broad perspective of both sides. I really have. And I've been Republican in times of my life and I've been Democrat in times of my life.
Hmm.
So I really don't have one bias toward another. My goal has always been the best man wins. The president doesn't really have that much power in your daily life. Really, not much.
Mm.
It's just fear tactics. There's nothing that Biden can do to ruin your life. There's nothing that Trump can do to ruin your personal path here,
Yeah.
except for the influence of the politics, that gets weaved into the families. But as far as economic, rational discussion, policy discussion, when you're really talking about the policies of the government and what they can and can't do, it's not a huge effect on your personal life, on your personal
Yeah.
income. It's really not,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's just the
Yeah.
discussion that gets in the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you start enforcing all one party, when they say, well, we want conservative judges on the Supreme Court, well, now you're fighting to take down democracy once again because you're not getting that left perspective, good or bad. At
Yeah.
least it's the debate of it. The conversation can be had because you get the pros and cons. My dad was always a fan of writing down the pros and cons of everything.
Right. And that's where, that I feel is showing, your political system at work. It's like, it's not about the people. Your
Absolutely not.
politicians are showing they're self-serving.
Absolutely. I mean, they're
And
supposed to be
that's where I
speaking for
think
us.
that's where Americans need to, wake up. It's like, what,
Absolutely.
this system's not working for us. Like,
Right. Yeah.
what do we need to do? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's clear. Even this election is proving that even the election itself needs to be talked about. But we need that Democrat Republican debate that we used to have. We need to come to the table and have a discussion. You can't just shut down one party. You can't do it. The
Yeah.
Democrats can't do it either.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
can't do it. Yeah.
I would like to see a politician, I don't care from where or what level, that would just say, you know what? I'm tired of everyone fighting and playing dirty. Like,
Yeah.
these are some ideas. Like,
That's right.
how can it include everyone and help the majority of our citizens, right? And,
Right.
politicians aren't like that anymore. They're not.
No. No. I would
It's
love a
gone way off
politician.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. To get back to the
Yeah.
compassion. Yeah. I mean, once again, we're just humans. We are all humans. Nobody has
Yeah.
access to any information that I don't have access to, It's
Right.
easy to formulate an opinion, but it's easy to do that. Let everyone have that opinion, and
Yeah.
it's just their opinion. It's it, you know?
Yeah. And, if you want, do you want me to share some things I picked up with
Yes,
Trump?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's interesting when I see Trump. So I do get, like he's like a marionette, because I mean, we don't see that. That's not, that's not there. But I
Yeah.
see like somebody
Yeah.
is holding, and like he's like just the puppet, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
someone. So it's like someone's behind the scenes, like egging him
Makes
on, because
sense.
I do
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
they want Trump in, and I do
Yeah.
feel your upcoming election, Trump. It feels like Trump's going to win
If you
again.
say it, oh, God damn you.
So, but I also pick up though, and this has been for a while, like even the last election. So the last election, I felt Hillary was going to win, and
Yeah.
that didn't happen, right? But it's interesting because they said that in a way she did win, because there was something
Yeah.
about how the
The
votes
popular
go,
vote.
or
Yeah.
something. So anyways, neither here nor there.
Right.
But at that time I kept picking up, like, there's this young, I'm getting a young male,
Yeah.
right? And he comes up the middle. So I don't know if
Nice.
this is going to happen or when this is going to happen, but it's like, you guys need a third party.
Absolutely. I mean, there's
You
supposed
know,
to be
there's
a
some,
third party.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I just keep, like my guides keep saying, like, you know, the Democrat and the Republicans, they're finished. Like there's
Oh,
something
yeah.
about like it's played
Done.
out,
Yeah.
it's done,
Yes.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like there, something has to come, like there's something coming in through the middle. And it's like, I feel like this, it's a young man.
Yeah.
Um, he, I'm not trying to sound racist here, but he doesn't feel white and he doesn't look white.
Yeah.
But it's almost, I don't, I'm not sure what like what his cultural
Yeah.
background is.
Hmm. Smart man.
Um, Smart man,
We
American, and
need
I keep getting like he's in his third,
intelligence.
like he, yeah, like he feels like he's in his 30s at least, maybe into the 40s, but he's not
I think you have to be 45 or something, maybe. I don't
really
know. I think there is an age limit, though. I think so. I
to
think
be
so. I
president.
could be wrong. Yeah, to be the
I
president.
don't
I
know.
think it's 45. Oh, maybe somebody would correct me, but I don't know. I
Yeah,
think so.
somebody look it up, and maybe your
Yeah.
mom can look it up and type
Yeah,
it in.
she might know.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh,
like if
mom.
this guy
Yeah.
comes up, like maybe it's like he, I don't want to say like he's like a savior, but it's like he would, oh, your mom says 35.
Oh, is it
So there you go.
35,
So
mom?
that aligns. Yeah,
Oh,
because
you
I
were
just feel
right.
like he would be in his 30s, yeah, going
Yeah.
into his 40s. So,
Interesting.
and
Okay.
I mean, I'm wondering like, you know, I would get like maybe independent, like he's independent of the Republicans, he's independent of the Democrats, like he's
That
not
would be ideal.
associated with a
Yeah.
certain party.
Yes.
Um, and like almost like he would be like, you know, revolutionary and yeah.
Oh, so needed. Oh, I hope that's true. I
Like he
hope
would
that's
get,
true.
I just feel like the young people would get on board with him first before, let's say, the older generations, and then they
Yeah.
would come right on board.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be
Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah. I mean, the systems are so broken that it's going to be something new and revolutionary anyway. It really is. It's exciting, honestly. It really is because it's an
yeah,
old system and it's just come to this, no one can live in this kind of state forever. Nobody can. In the US, it's tense times,
no,
and
no,
we're all in that fight or flight uh, feeling right now. So that can't last
yeah,
forever, so
yeah,
peace is the ultimate reaction.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's funny with this young man, I want to say like he feels like he speaks more than one language too.
Ooh,
So I'm wondering if
yeah,
he's like, you know, maybe Spanish background or Mexican background.
yeah,
Yeah, there's something, and like mom and pop, like he is grassroots. There's something grassroots, and he comes up, and it's like it's refreshing. And so, you know, what I pick up on him, it's like, boy, dear God, I hope it comes
I
true.
hope
Like,
so. Please, God, I'm going to do a moon
yeah,
potion on that, a little,
yeah,
because we
yeah,
need it. We need a light, we
yeah,
need a bright light to be the beacon for us right now, and a hope. We need hope. You just
yeah,
can't keep going this way to just want to win. It's win
yeah,
at all cost, and that has just got to stop. Because anyone
yeah,
can
and
win at all cost. Anyone can.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's
You don't
about
have to
the.
be special,
That's right.
you know?
Because right now the politics, it's based on who has the money.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like, it's almost like they're being bought in, right? Like who's being
Yeah.
bought in,
Right.
who's being
That's
paid to
right.
be the president or the prime minister, wherever, right?
That's right.
And
Well, you're
like
being paid
this,
at the top of that mountain. You're at the top of the mountain. You've been
yeah,
paid to get there. You're taking all the shiny, happy pictures, but you're not happy. You didn't work to get there. You didn't suffer and bleed and run out of water halfway back and have to find an animal to help you. You didn't have to do that. So
yeah,
you don't have the story. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And like, you know, this young man that I pick up on, like I get grassroots. So I'm just wondering if it's like he maybe doesn't have the money or maybe all the connections, but it's like, you know, he's got, he wants to lead by example. It's like something grassroots. It's like he wants to get back to the grassroots, or he wants to, you know, bring up, you know, politics where it's like it's going to benefit. It's not about
Yeah.
the politicians. So I'm really hoping
Wonderful. Oh, I hope
this
so. I
vision, what I
hope you're
pick up
right.
on, comes to be, but it's like I just don't know when, you guys. Like
Well,
maybe
it's
in
okay.
the next,
We got to get through.
yeah, yeah. I just feel like, he's sitting quiet right now. So maybe he's waiting. If that's the case, like maybe he's waiting for the moment or waiting for the time. So,
Maybe he's picking up those tools that are needed to be able to relate to everybody, because that's the thing too, is everybody's so unrelatable. I can't relate to
mhm,
any of these people because they haven't struggled the way I've struggled, different ways. So somebody
yeah,
relatable who has the tools to understand what it's like, and to live in these times. And that's not just as an American, that's as a human. It's very
yeah,
difficult times as human to keep peace and keep that faith going.
yeah, yeah.
But we will do it. Oktoberfest is coming. Christmas is coming. All of these end of year things are
Halloween.
coming.
I
Halloween
love
is
Halloween.
coming, right?
Yeah,
What do you do on
October's
Halloween?
coming. What do I do? Well,
Yeah,
in the past, so where I live right now, the kids don't come in my complex, right? Because it's like
yeah,
a complex, so kids don't usually come to that. But in the past, it's like, oh, I like would decorate like crazy and
yeah.
get makeup like really good goodie bags, like
Oh,
not
yeah?
just put in like one or two little candies. It's like, no, I made a Halloween goodie bag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
so
used to do that
because
too.
I love seeing all the costumes. I don't care like yeah what they're dressed up as. It's like I love seeing it, and I just find it
Yeah,
so fun, and it's like a way to just bring out like
yeah,
the goofiness or just play. It's a day to
yeah.
play, I find.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah. And I
yeah,
do feel like the veil is very thin on Halloween, between the spiritual and the living too. I feel like there's a little, what do they call it? Samhain or something like that,
yeah,
is coming.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's fun. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but I love to
yeah.
decorate. I don't decorate, but I bake. I bake all kinds of
Oh, do you?
goodies.
No, no,
Yes. Rosie and
no.
I
I
do that, and
like.
Michael too.
Oh, okay, no, I like to hand out, and there's been a few times too where I've taken out my niece and nephew
Oh yeah.
trick or treating because their mom and dad couldn't do it for whatever reason. So that's
Yeah.
fun too. If I could do that, it's like, let me borrow your kid. I'll take your kid out trick or
Yeah.
treating.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah, like and I even want to go trick or treating. It's like, would I get
Yeah.
away with it? I probably need a mask
Well, exactly. And
and a
and
snowsuit.
during COVID, you need a mask. Anywhere, everyone's going to
I
be a
guess,
surgeon
yeah.
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And I don't like to reveal when my birthday is, but um, I was
Oh, it's
supposed to be a
coming.
Halloween. I was supposed to be a Halloween
Really?
baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been cool.
So I took my time being born. I guess I didn't want to come out. So, because I was born late.
No.
What is it? Is that what it's called? Born late
Yeah.
or overdue? Like, yeah, overdue.
Yeah. Overdue.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that what it's
yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah. Like, so I
I didn't
wasn't
know there was.
born before the due date or on the due date. I was born
Yeah.
after the due date.
You were
Yeah,
past due. You were
yeah,
past
yeah.
due.
So,
Yeah. Like my
so
bills,
that would have
past
been
due.
something being a Halloween. So one of our viewers, Lauren, she says Halloween is
Yes.
her birthday. So, oh, that's it. That's lovely.
Oh,
I think that'd be
right.
fun. In a way, I'm wondering
Yes.
like if she had birthday parties where it was like, okay, it's a Halloween birthday party,
Yeah.
right? She could be anyone on her birthday then. I think that'd be kind of
Maybe.
neat. Oh, I'm going to be a superhero on my birthday this year.
What is Halloween? Is that Scorpio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Scorpio. Oh,
I know.
I love
I know. So I'm a
Scorpios.
Scorpio. I'm a
Yeah.
Scorpio.
My dad's a Scorpio.
Okay, good. Yeah, Scorpios get it bad. See, we're going all over the place. So Scorpios,
This
so
is our
I find
usual
Scorpios,
conversation.
yeah, yeah. So this is how Julie and I talk when we talk on the weekend. So um, Scorpios, I find, get a bad rap out of all the
Right?
astrological signs. Yeah, it's like stop beating up on Scorpios. We're not always like that intense. We're not always mean,
No.
right?
Well, I think you're like the death card in the tarot, aren't you? I think you are.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes when people find out you're Scorpio, it's like, I feel this, like, stay away. It's like, okay,
No, I love
you
Scorpios.
know,
Dad, I love Dad. Yeah.
so, but we're more than our sun sign. I want people to know that. So we're
Oh,
more than our sun sign.
absolutely.
Yeah, if
I'm
people,
mostly my moon sign, I found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm mostly my Capricorn sign in the moon because I do all my moon potions and I worship the moon so much. But
Wow.
Capricorn is, no, I think Capricorn is the death card. Yeah, Capricorn's a death card, not
Oh, is
Scorpio.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Scorpio must be Tower or something. I know it's something like death.
yeah,
I don't know.
probably
I
something bad.
forget.
It's Scorpios are
Something
always bad,
bad.
apparently.
Oh, I know what it is too. Taurus and Scorpios are the complete opposites.
Yeah,
That's why we get
that's
along
right.
so well.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, 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 yeah. We play off of each other. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
What's your moon sign?
So my moon's in Leo,
Ooh, like Michael. Fiery.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and and your moon's in Capricorn. So do you know
My
your
moon's in
rising
Capricorn.
sign?
Yeah. Cancer. Cancer's my rising. That's where I'm so emotional because of my cancer.
So is Capricorn and Cancer, I think they're opposite signs, aren't they? I think.
Yeah. I think
Is it
so.
Cancer? Let's see,
I think it's Cancer
Cancer,
and Capricorn.
Leo. I'm just going to go through the
Oh no.
signs. Virgo,
Oh no. Leo is
Libra,
Aquarius opposite. Yeah. Libra.
Scorpio, Sagittarius. Yeah, it is Capricorn.
Look at that.
So,
So
because
I'm
my
always
rising,
fighting with
no,
my
no, listen to
what?
this, okay?
Yes. Yes.
My rising sign is Capricorn, and look at that's another opposite of.
Oh, that's weird.
So I'm wondering if that's another
That's
reason why we
weird.
get along.
I'm sure of
Okay.
it. Well, we were
Yeah.
so divinely guided together. One day we'll
So
have
we're
to
gonna,
tell our card story,
yes,
right?
the dream. It
Yes,
started
that's
with
what
the
I'm talking
dream.
about.
That's what.
Yeah,
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 with your
yeah,
dream.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Most of my family already knows that story.
yeah, yeah. Well, my family does too, and some of
Yeah,
my
see?
friends, other friends. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How we came
So,
together. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so what
Yeah.
else are you seeing for the energies coming for this week? Because we need some hope. We need something to move us
So,
towards progress.
right. So I want to say, again, so it's about the breath. So you guys, be mindful of your breath or using the breath as a healing tool. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, sad, hopeless, I mean, I know this sounds like what, taking a breath, really? I mean, the problems don't go away. It just helps with your energy. That's how I want to put it. So the breath can help, like, okay, sometimes it's a matter of collecting yourself, calming your energy. Sometimes it's to like shake things loose, but it's like the breath. So the breath is one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to go, it's like baby steps, you guys. So it's like it's easy to feel overwhelmed and really get anxiety about stuff, what's going on, and feeling overwhelmed. So especially or daunting, right? It's like, oh my God, I got all this to look after, or it involves all this kind of work because we're still in that mode of like, things feel like hard work or taking extra effort, or we have to put in more work to get something done. Feels daunting.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
baby steps, just take it, step by step. A break, like give yourself a break. It could be like, okay, I've been working on this project or I've been doing this for a few hours, like step back, stop, give yourself a break, taking a breath may not be like literally like I'm going to breathe in a few times deep. It could be like taking a breath, like the expression, okay, I'm going to go,
Yeah.
have a coffee, or I'm going to have a snack, or I'm going to go, you know, sit outside for a few minutes, like whatever that is, taking a breath.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, those are some of the things that I get for
Yeah.
this week. Um,
Baby steps. I like that.
Baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Baby steps up that mountain.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And just like one thing at a time. One thing
Yeah.
at a time. Yeah, and I just feel like um, yeah. Also, too, I guess, maybe try not to procrastinate too much. I think that's part of the anxiety is like, this has been a year where it's like when we've had an idea or a notion to go and do something or to tackle a project or activity, And if we keep delaying it, it's like it bites us in the butt because it's like, oh, I wish I did that sooner. Or I wish I did it when I,
Yeah.
thought of it.
Had the
Then I
time.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
in a bigger mess, right? Or I wouldn't be
Yeah.
scrambling. So yeah, so that's why maybe I get baby steps. And it's like, so you don't feel overwhelmed or things feel daunting for you this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
crawl. Maybe we'll find ourselves crawling into this new year. That's okay. Then we'll
yeah,
stand up after.
yeah, yeah. And
Right?
sometimes it's a matter of like stopping and it's like, okay, with this, what's the most important part of this idea or this project or activity, right? Sometimes it's a
Yeah.
matter of breaking it up into steps. And it's like, what's
Yes.
the most important? And then like maybe tackling that first or doing the little things to get to the big thing. I mean, there's no right or wrong, but I just do feel like it's about, steps and the breath this week, stopping
Yeah.
comes up. Yeah. I just feel it's like, things are coming to a close. Like we're kind of like this in between at times. So it's like, we're
Yeah.
on this where like, okay, I'm ready to go for it. And then something will happen. It's like, stop, or,
Yeah.
we halt. And that could
Yeah.
be like, to our advantage. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Or the universe does it for you. All of a sudden it's like,
Hmm.
what?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Forces you to take a breath and
Yeah.
refocus, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, all in
And the
all
other
in
thing,
good time.
yeah. And then the other thing too is like, if you, feel like, you need some confirmation or clarity or, into what's going on with, yourself, your life, book a reading.
Absolutely. See what
Right?
cycle you're in, for sure. Because when I
Right?
can
You can,
see too
yeah,
what
reach
cycle you're
out to
in,
one of
yeah,
us. Right.
you know how to work with the energies then. You really do. You know how to tackle things. You get tools. And then the cards really come into play too, after, not your cards, because then you go into the little sub energies that are going on within the big cycle. It's like we were talking about, you got to start with the small. So you got to look at the macro of what cycle you're in, and then you can really focus on the weeklies and the dailies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but do
And
that. Yeah,
because sometimes, doing something um, different can provide that light bulb moment or
oh
that
yeah,
like what? That
exactly.
will help. Yeah.
A different
Yeah.
perspective. Yes,
Let's
and
do
sometimes
something
all you
different.
need is a different perspective.
Hmm.
you know
Yeah, exactly. So, I think we'll probably wrap things up.
Yes.
We've been to a bunch of different little subjects we've been talking about.
Yes, we
Yeah.
really
So I hope
did.
I hope people enjoyed it. I hope it, was interesting and food for
I did
thought.
too. Yes.
I just want to make a few announcements. So for those that are listening, and if you'd like to share this with your networks, whether that's in person or through, messaging, posts, but I will be going to Saskatoon. Woohoo!
Yes.
So I'm going to Saskatoon, and I'll be there next week for sure, possibly two. So I'll be available for reading. So those that are in Saskatchewan, like even around Saskatoon, because there's a lot of little towns around Saskatoon, reach out to me. You can email me, and it's scrolling on the bottom, or you can go to my Facebook page, Enlightin Energy, and send me a message. I'm going to have special rates while I'm there. So, I'm going to have like really good discounts for those
Yes.
in Saskatchewan that comes to see me in person for reading. Also, too, I'll be available for group events within reason because we have to follow the guidelines of the provincial rules for COVID-19. So reach out to me. The other thing too is for everyone else, I am having a special on my numerology readings this month until September 30th. So I just ask you prepay, but you can book your reading for any time up to December 15th of this year. So 30-minute sessions are $50. That's in Canadian money. So Americans, you're getting a really good deal on the
Yeah.
exchange rate. So it'll even be cheaper than 50
Jump at it.
bucks.
Yes.
And for an hour numerology reading with me, they're on sale for $100 Canadian. Um, What else? Julie's available for tarot. Julie's wonderful at reading tarot cards. So,
Oh, thank you.
so yeah. So if you want to contact Julie, I'm got her email there, scrolling at the
I just
bottom.
have fun with them, honestly. I think
Yeah,
they are the greatest tool I have just to get a feel for the energies around me too, because they really are great guides for just the energy of the day. In the morning I'll pull and see, well, what kind of day, and it never
yeah,
fails, because the way I read them too is I'm always looking for how this can help me. What I already, like I said, we already know what the problems are, so I need
yeah,
to find new ways to look at things and how to get through. So that's what I love the
yeah,
cards so much for.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so reach out. So we're both available, to help people in alternative ways. Yeah, through intuitive
Yeah.
readings. Yeah, and so next week, even though I'll be in Saskatoon, we plan to go live, right? And
Yeah.
our plan is to try it through YouTube, though, because we've got a YouTube channel and it's called Enlightin
Yes.
Energy. So check it out. It's still a work in process. It's brand new. So there are a few videos, including our past 2 shows, if you wanted to check them out. And if we can manage and figure out
Yeah.
YouTube Live, we're going to do readings, right? We're going to do,
That's right.
yeah. So whoever's tuning in live, we're going to try to get through as many of you
Yes.
with, little mini messages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Try to assist even
Mhm.
with the energy of the day or whatever. Whatever. Who
Mhm.
knows? You might get
What's
a new
coming up?
idea or a new thought.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So maybe think of questions. We're going to limit
Yeah.
questions to 1 per person. So if there's something that you would like some insight into, yeah, so I'll be doing
Okay.
numerology, and Julie will have her tarot cards on hand, and
Yes.
yeah, we'll see what
We'll
goes,
see.
right? Yeah, it's
That's
always
right.
fun.
That's
Okay.
always fun. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay. Thank you, Tina.
thanks. And any last words,
Breathe.
or just
Just
breathe?
breathe.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Let's
breathe.
just take,
That's your last word.
you guys, it's
Yes.
all good.
It's all good.
Okay, all right. So everyone
Thank
have a
you.
divine week, and thanks for
Yes.
watching. Be well.
Be well.
Bye.
Bye.